Bulls put in a respectable performance, but a star-studded Toulouse had a bit too much for them. My name's Mark. Let's talk rugby. Early on, Chris Smith and Tomo Ramos swapped penalties in the opening few minutes, wrapped 3-all. Then Northia gets pinged for being off his feet at the ruck. Toulouse decide to kick to the corner. Bulls get in and disrupt their maul very well. Northia with a high tackle though, and kind of a bit of a seatbelt tackle, and Toulouse have a penalty in front. Ramos pops it over 6-3. Toulouse in the lead. Toulouse then come back to threatening the line. Another seatbelt tackle on Ntamack from Vermac. Ramos extends the lead then from the tee, 9-3. Bulls getting warning about the number of penalties that they're giving away at this point. Toulouse applying plenty of pressure on the Bulls. Bulls, they kind of go through a period where they have chances to clear, but they kind of make a mess of it, grant more attacking chances back to Toulouse, but they are keeping Toulouse out. Conceded yet another penalty. Worcester gets himself a yellow card after that warning. Toulouse decide to go to the corner again. Bulls manage to nick the line out and they clear, but then Toulouse win another penalty and make it 12-3. At the restart then, Bulls win a penalty for themselves. Chris Smith closes the gap to 12-6. Another penalty then allows Bulls to kick to the corner and thinking, okay, well, this is a great chance for Bulls to really, get themselves into the game properly. Maufu works his way through the middle of the maul though, and Toulouse are able to turn it over, scrum to them. What an effort as well from Maufu, and Toulouse did it very well actually, getting in there and disrupting that Bulls maul, because the Bulls maul is normally pretty decent. It's normally pretty tight as well, but a couple of times today Toulouse were able to get in there. I think it's something the Bulls will learn from this, and I think it's one of the great things about this competition is that, and especially the South Africans joining, is that they're getting exposed. Obviously in URC they get exposed to a lot of different teams from different countries, but now with the French and the English as well, just other aspects of the game at club level that maybe they haven't come up against before, specifically in terms of how certain national club teams play. But I think Bulls are going to be better for it from this game. But Toulouse then get themselves on attack. There's a great burst from Ntamack. They get it out wide to Choco Barres, but he knocks it on. Some really good defense from the Bulls, and they're causing Toulouse to make errors on attack. It's 12-6 at half time. Bulls then, at that stage, I'm thinking like they're just hanging in there like a limpet, and sometimes in this competition, that's what you need to do. You just need to hang on in there until you get your chance. It doesn't matter how much possession or territory the opposition have if they're not, converting that into points on the board. And Bulls were denying Toulouse the opportunity to get tries in that first half. And yeah, I think in the future, that's another thing that's going to stand to them, is that ability to just hang in there. And then if they could just generate a chance for themselves, suddenly it's a whole different game. Into the second half then, Bulls win a penalty at the scrum. They kick it upfield. They spread it out. Malia is pinged for offside. And then they go for the post. Smith splits the post with his kick. It's 12-9. Bulls now start to apply some pressure. We have Lowe with a really good burst down the side. Toulouse, though, win a penalty as Moody goes off his feet. Then Toulouse overthrow at the line out. And I think this was actually, it didn't seem mightn't have seemed like much at the time, but I think it was a very important moment of the game. So the overthrow at the line-out, right? And Grobler, the hooker, he absolutely belts the ball down the field, but it just about goes into touch on the full. And if that had taken a bounce inside, like in field, and then gone out, it would have been an absolutely amazing kick from him. Like, because he just kicked it from the ground. It wasn't like he was kicking from hand or anything. But as it is, we come back and Toulouse get a second go at pretty much the same line out because he kicked it from right behind the back of the one that they overthrew. This time it works out for them. They put the ball through the hands. Labelle, he gets himself close. Bulls can see the penalty. There was, in the build-up to that, I felt a forward pass that was missed by Toulouse. But if the referee hasn't given it, just going to play on. From the penalty, Toulouse tap and go from 5 meters. Initially, the Bulls are able to hold them out, but then Miafu comes around the corner of the ruck at a nice angle, and he goes over. Ramos converts 19-9. And yeah, at that stage, I was thinking, yeah, just if that Grobler kick had stayed in play just for one bounce, it would have, that whole series of play wouldn't have happened. But it's all ifs and buts at times as well. But then Toulouse, then from there, you can see they're starting to play with confidence. They strike again off a scrum in the midfield. Dupont releases Labelle down the left wing. Lowe does really well to get back from, he was like at the back of the scrum, covers the ground back to catch him in the corner and tackle him, but Labelle is able to get it down, and we have a Timo check just in case his feet were in touch, but he kind of almost like, not obviously intentionally, but used Lowe's body as a fulcrum to keep his feet up in the air and out of touch until he got the ball down. Ramos then, the conversion hits the post and just about goes over, 26-9. Toulouse then, they attack again. They find some space out wide, kick it through. Aronson does really well to win the race to get back. We then have a big scrap at the breakdown. The ball is turned over by each side, at least once each. It might have been more than that. Then Bulls win a penalty, and they're able to clear. But then Toulouse, they work their way back into the same corner of the field. Flamand managed to block down a clearing kick from the Bulls. The line-out goes over the top. Van Staden, I thought he did really well. He takes it. Nice carry, first of all, making lots of ground. And then after he's tackled, he gets back with his feet and carries again, and basically goes from pretty much like 5 meters out to outside his own 22 with those 2 carries. Bulls then, we have a scrum. They win a free kick on halfway. They opt to scrum again. They absolutely demolish Toulouse in the scrum, but the referee is calling to them saying, use it. And by this stage, like, the scrum is just completely disintegrated. The the middle of the Bull scrum has kind of gone like a bit further, and then the whole Toulouse scrum was wrapped around it to the point where referees tell them to use it, and they've got like 3 Toulouse players, two flankers maybe, and Dupont, I'm not sure, but basically like they're standing there waiting for them to pick the ball up and use it. So when they do, obviously Toulouse turn the ball over, and I think it's something we've seen change this year, where before that would have absolutely been a penalty to the Bulls. But now referees seem to be more about getting the ball out of the scrum. And I think, on past interpretation, the Bulls would have felt like, no, that should absolutely be our penalty. But I think now you've got to learn that the interpretation of the referees has changed for situations like that, and you have to be ready to get the ball out and use it if he calls it. But yeah, it felt just kind of as a, how would you put it? Not in terms of like the laws, but just in terms of rewarding good play by the Bulls. It felt a little bit unfair that Toulouse were able to turn the ball over. But Toulouse do manage to turn the ball over. They counterattack, get themselves close to the line. Defense gets set, but then Dupont chips over. Norkia, he gets to the ball first, but all he can do is knock it into the path of Flamand, who flops on the ball to score. That's converted for 33-9. And it was just felt like it was kind of the way the Bulls had been going today, and also kind of recently as well with their poor run of form. They just don't seem to be able to catch a break. After that, then Bulls, they do get a rare chance to attack, show some good hands, but then there's a poor pass in the move, leads to a knock-on. We didn't have a period, kind of bit of back and forth, both teams turning each other over. Bulls, especially, they kind of seem slow to react when the ball is out on their side. It happened a few times where there would be a ruck would be there, the ball would be sitting at the back, referee would call that it's out, and then the first person in there would be a Toulouse player. And again, it's something, that in this competition, you have to be able to react to the way that the referees are refereeing the game, because a lot of the time the referee who is officiating your game won't be from your domestic competition. And I think it's something that the South African teams are going to have to learn, especially the Bulls from this one, is being able to adapt on the fly to interpretations that aren't what you're used to in the URC. From there, then, Toulouse, they win a penalty from a 5-meter scrum. They decide to tap and go, but the Bulls do really well to keep them out. They decide to spread it, but comes to nothing. Final score is 33-9. Bulls, they put up a decent fight for a team who haven't won in so long. Okay, now let's have a quick look at the stats from the game. So possession was 53% to Toulouse, 47% to the Bulls. Territory 62% to 38. Tries 3-0. Defenders beaten 17-8. I think once Toulouse got their attacking game going, they were finding gaps in that Bulls defense. Scrums 100% to 86%. Line out only 65% for Toulouse, 85% for Bulls. Thought Bulls did really well in disrupting that line out, but there were times where when they turned it over to line out, they couldn't make any headway from that. Penalties conceded, 7 from Toulouse, 13 from the Bulls. The penalties conceded by the Bulls, especially when there was a lot of them all in one kind of space of time, and you had kind of the combination of there were a few of them were high hits, and they were giving away penalties close to the line as well, led to the yellow card, which kind of allowed Toulouse to get that little bit of a gap. And then in the second half, then the penalties just allowed Toulouse to get in position to add to the score where the Bulls would have wanted to have tried to stage a comeback. In terms of the teams from here, then, Bulls, they came into this one on very poor form. They did well in the first half. They managed to disrupt Toulouse's rhythm fairly well, but they didn't offer much going forward, I felt. And I think that was kind of a bit of an Achilles heel for them, was that, they were able to disrupt Toulouse, but they just didn't have anything themselves then to be able to create much of a threat. As I said, they can be feel a little aggrieved about some of the calls that went against them, but those absolutely weren't the reason why they lost this one. Toulouse, they're past masters at winning these types of games in big European ties. They're able to stay patient, and once they got the game going in the second half, then they're just able to pull away. Now they've got some more South African opposition coming to Toulouse in the quarterfinal as they welcome the Sharks next weekend.